So today I'm going to be doing my July favorites, and I don't really have a lot of new makeup products to show. I do have like just a couple things that I'll talk about, but it's just kind of overall going to be like a, I don't know, catch up with me, just random chit-chatty kind of favorites video. I just don't really have a whole lot of new products to show just yet, but I have recently acquired some new products. I like have my entire table is covered with new stuff to try out and review, so hopefully I will have a lot more videos coming up on my channel soon. Just the last 2 months have just been really not bad months, but just really hard for me to like get motivated about, you know, filming videos again and stuff, and it's just been, I don't know, I just feel like with me it's just kind of like feast or famine with videos. I either have 1,000 ideas or I have no ideas, and a lot of the times a lot of my video content ends up coming from like me purchasing things and like haul videos and to show things and then to do reviews on those things. And so once I like do all that, I kind of run out of I don't know, content and stuff to do. So that's just kind of been where I've been at the last, like, I don't know, pretty much the summer has just been, I don't know, it's just been really weird, and I just haven't had a lot of motivation to film videos, but I'm kind of like back in the swing of things of like wanting to film some videos again. So hopefully all of that will be good and I'll do a lot better, because I remember I totally failed in July at uploading videos. I totally failed in June at uploading videos, and so maybe August will be better. Like I said at the beginning of July, hopefully July will be better, and it wasn't any better. So I don't know, hopefully it'll be better, and if I fail again, I'm sorry. So I was trying to think of like my favorite products of the month to share and like talk about, and whenever I just like sat down and started thinking of things, like I made a list of some products, and then I went back and looked at my old favorites video, and I'm like, shit, I already talked about all those things. So like I mentioned in my last favorites video, I've been using the Boots Highlights Illuminating Lotion a lot. I'll apply this under or all over my skin before I put foundation on, and it kind of gives me just a nice glowy look. And then the foundation that I've been using is the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation, but I've been using the same products but just adding them in a different way. So I'll apply this on my face all over, and then on the back of my hand I'll put the foundation. I'll put like a tiny pump of this in the actual foundation. Then I'll use my Hard Candy Mix and Pigment Drops to lighten it just a hair, because this one is just a tiny bit dark for me and it's the lightest color, which is really annoying. So I'll use those 3 products, which like I said, already talked about in my last favorites video, but one different thing I've been doing, and I've been testing it out with different foundations as well to see if I like it, but I'll add one tiny drop of just any facial oil. I've talked about this 1,000 times. This is the Measurable Difference Rosehip Oil. I'll just put a tiny drop of that with my foundation and mix it all together, because since I do have such dry skin, sometimes foundations will just look really dry and crusty on my skin, and it's not a good look. But I've been adding just a tiny drop of oil into my actual foundation, and it just makes everything look a little dewier, a little, I don't know, nicer. It doesn't look dry and crusty. So I've been doing that lately. That's more of like a technique that I've really been liking this month, rather than like a specific product, because I do have to create quite the cocktail for my foundation with 4 separate products to kind of create, you know, what's on my skin. But I like it. And then I've been using my oval brush again, like I mentioned in my last favorites video. I've been using this one a lot to apply it, and I think it's just really what I like at the moment. So I feel really bad that I don't really have a whole bunch of like new beauty products to really talk about, since that is kind of what my channel is mostly based upon. But it's just kind of one of those things where I feel very almost overwhelmed with like the beauty community, or not necessarily the beauty community, but like makeup companies and stuff. I feel like there's just so much stuff coming out all at once that I would normally be super excited about, that I just almost feel like fatigued by it all, and I'm like kind of not interested in anything right now. And I felt that way for the last, I don't know, maybe like last year or 2 with like makeup in general. Like I remember like a long time ago, like at the beginning of like YouTube, like 2007 was when I really got into YouTube, like watching and stuff. And I remember, you know, like there would be like 1 or 2 really big makeup palettes that would launch in you know, like from Urban Decay or something, like when the Naked palette came out, like everyone lost their minds over that. And I remember like you couldn't get it for like months if you didn't get like the initial palette. And I kind of miss that big hype when it came to makeup. It just seems like there's so many new brands, which is like great and fun, but then there's just so much being put out at once that I kind of feel like I'm just tired of it all. It's like I've kind of seen it all, or I'm just not excited by it, or I'm just like so overwhelmed that even though it's something that I really would like or would genuinely be interested in, I just don't feel like that anymore. With the exception of like Korean beauty and makeup and stuff at the moment, over the last like year I've really gotten interested into like Korean culture and Korean beauty products and skincare and language and things like that, so I've been like really interested in that. So for me, like a whole lot of Western makeup isn't that interesting, which sounds weird to say, but I just kind of feel like bored of it all. But like I still have that like real fun excitement when I get new like Korean beauty products to try and stuff. I don't know, is that weird? That just seems kind of weird to say, but I don't know, it's just kind of how I feel at the moment. I think with like a lot of makeup companies, like especially brands like, I don't know, like Too Faced and like Urban Decay now, like those really big makeup companies that like a few years ago were kind of the it makeup companies, you know, that was kind of like the big two makeup companies, and it was like whenever they like would launch a palette, it would be a really big deal or big hype. But now it's like, it almost feels like every 2-3 months is like another palette coming out. I mean, there's just so many makeup products, especially from Too Faced. I feel like I love their aesthetic, I love their products, I love the vibe and everything. It's very cute and girly and, you know, everything that's just my kind of style, but I just don't feel myself that interested in buying their products anymore, because it just kind of feels like, well, I could buy this palette, but I know in 2 months another palette's gonna come out that I'm gonna want. And even though maybe in the past I would have bought both the palettes, now I'm just kind of like, what's the point? And I won't buy either. So maybe that's just me, but I feel very, I don't know, just uninspired. And it's still just such a very weird thing for me because, like I said, everything that's coming out is stuff that I feel like I love and I would be over the moon about, but now it's just kind of like, yeah, it's super cute and it's super adorable, but I'm just not interested anymore. And I definitely feel like a makeup collector kind of person. Like I feel like there's different types of like crazy people when it comes to makeup. There's the people who like, they just kind of, you know, minimally buy makeup when they need it, and it's just the stuff they'll use, and they'll use it all the way up and throw it away, and then they'll just repurchase that. And then there's the people that like have these huge makeup collections and they just like get everything and they'll hoard everything and they'll have everything but won't really use anything. I don't know, I just feel weird about it. I'm kind of like in between there. I definitely have a lot of makeup, and it's definitely because of like, since I've been doing YouTube for the past like 6 years. Wow, and something just struck me as I was sitting here talking about like everything was, I just realized I've been doing YouTube for 6 years now, and I completely forgot the anniversary. Not that like really a big deal or anything, but I completely forgot about, like, I started my YouTube channel, I think I started the actual channel was July 4th, 2011, and then I actually think I posted my first video maybe the 5th or something. So I've always just called July 4th my YouTube anniversary, and I don't know how I just completely forgot about that this year. That's kind of funny in a weird way. Just because, I don't know, I really enjoy doing YouTube and it's something really fun for me, but just the last like year I've put so much effort and so much time and resources and money into my YouTube channel, like so much, and I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like my channel has like really just been at a standstill for so long, and I think that's kind of a source of a lot of my, not apathy, but just lack of motivation for making videos, just because it's something I really love doing, but it does take a lot of time, and I just feel like I'm not really getting anything out of it anymore, which is kind of sad because, you know, YouTube's really fun, and I always liked in the beginning of YouTube how, you know, it was like just sitting in front of a camera and like just talking and, you know, talking to like your friend almost, but now it's like YouTube is such this huge thing where it's like if you don't have like movie production quality videos, no one wants to watch you, or if you don't have this crazy over the top personality of like screaming and like yelling, I feel like I feel like maybe I'm just the old lady of YouTube now. I've been like, I literally like grew up like since I was 12 years old watching YouTube, and I'm gonna be 24 now, and it's crazy just to think how much it has changed in really not that long of time. And it's just kind of crazy. So yeah, that was just kind of weird that it hit me that I completely forgot about my like 6-year anniversary on YouTube. Like I mentioned, that's not really a big deal or anything, but it's just kind of funny because I always used to look forward to like YouTube anniversaries or milestones, and I just feel like that's not important to me. Not important to me, but just, I don't know, just different. So sorry I kind of went on like a long rambly rant. Not really a rant, but just kind of, I don't know, it was kind of like a stream of consciousness thinking. But yeah, I don't really like have a whole lot of products to really show. Some things music wise, I've been really loving 2 songs by EXO. If you guys aren't interested in K-pop, then you probably won't have any interest in what I say, but I really love Coco Bop and The Eve. I have been playing those on repeat for like past 2 weeks now, and I just really love it. It's so good. To be honest, I'm more of like a BTS fangirl, but I really like their new songs. Coco Bop and The Eve, those 2 have been really good. Let's see, more things that I've been really into this month. I started rewatching Sailor Moon, which was a huge part of my childhood in the sense that like I loved Sailor Moon, I loved watching it, I loved everything about it. I didn't really have a whole lot of merch and stuff just because I remember like authentic Sailor Moon merch is like kind of hella expensive and stuff. But I remember as a kid, I loved watching Sailor Moon. That was my favorite thing ever. But to be honest, I don't really remember any of the actual storyline. I remember like basic storylines and stuff, and, you know, like there's a Sailor Scouts and they're all doing this and they're trying to defeat this person, and you know, I remember the basic storyline, but I didn't really remember any of like the actual storylines from like the actual episodes or anything in depth from that. So I started rewatching it online, and I'm watching the English redub on Viz, and I really love it. I was kind of like turned off at first because I didn't like that they used the original Japanese names, which, I mean, just because I'm used to her being called like Serena, but you know, now it's Usagi because, you know, that's like her actual name. So at first it took me a little bit of time to get used to like remembering all their names from their Japanese names, but overall I really like it. I've been watching it. I kind of like binge watch it like every Saturday, so I've still got a lot of episodes left, but I've been watching a lot of it, and it's really fun to kind of experience some really nostalgic shows from when I was a kid, and kind of like I remember the act of watching it, but I don't really remember the actual content of it. So it's kind of really fun to like watch that as an adult and I guess just kind of like re-experience it for the first time. What else have I been doing? I bet nobody's even like watching this video anymore, but I don't know, I just kind of feel like I don't really do a whole lot of like chatty videos and stuff, so it's just kind of like maybe this will be a long video that like 2 people will watch. So hey to all the 2 people still watching. What have I been doing? Real Housewives of Orange County came back. I'm a huge fan of everything. I feel like anytime I say something, I'm like, I'm a huge fan of this, or I really love this. But I really have a guilty pleasure for any of the housewife shows, but Orange County is my absolute favorite. I think they are all crazy, and I like hate watch it, but I still love it. And oh my god, I feel very weird about this season, like with what's her name, Lydia coming back. I feel like she didn't have much of a storyline at all whenever she was first on the show, like 2 or 3 years ago. I just remember like she didn't have much going on for her. It was like just her and her kids, and like I think her and her husband had like a company, like a magazine or something, and I just remember she had like a crazy goofy mom who was like a crazy pot smoker or something, and like always talking about fairy dust. And then I remember when Lydia left, I kind of like forgot she was even on the show, really, until she came back, and then I was like, oh yeah, she was on the show a while ago, but I didn't remember anything about her. And I feel like she's just kind of off. I don't know, there's something about her. Let me know what you guys think if you watch it. It's one of those TV shows that's just pure trash, but I like it. But Kelly Dodd drives me insane whenever I see her. She's always like, I don't know. And then the one season that was, or the one episode that was playing the other night when like Shannon and Kelly like had that big fight at the restaurant, and then Lydia and the new girl Peggy were like outside standing on the street, and then the camera pans up and you can see Kelly Dodd like making faces at them through the window. I lost my shit and I was laughing so hard just because she is so weird, and Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of Kelly Dodd, but she definitely makes for some interesting TV. And then I guess the last couple things I've been doing really is just I've been doing Rosetta Stone lately. Like I've mentioned, I have a lot of interest in like Korean culture and like a little bit of K-pop, and then I really love Korean dramas and stuff. So I've always loved learning languages. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm particularly good at learning languages. There are people who like can speak like 10 languages, and I did French in high school and a little bit in college. So I did like 4 years of French, which I really loved. I just love learning languages, but I didn't really keep up with French just because in college it got really busy, and like my literal class schedules did not work with the French classes, and they weren't required for my degree. So it was kind of like, well, there's not really any reason to take these classes anymore. So I kind of fell off learning French, but I always loved learning languages. And so whenever last summer I kind of got into dramas and stuff, I was like, oh, the language sounds kind of cool and pretty. So then I started kind of like just learning the language, learning the alphabet and stuff, and I thought it was really fun. And then I kind of got into like K-pop from after learning some language or like watching language videos, and then, you know, it was like just one thing led to another, and then I kind of got into like Korean beauty and stuff, and I think it's just really interesting and really cool. Some people might call me a Korea boo, whatever, I don't care. I think it's just always interesting to learn about different cultures and things, and so I've been doing Rosetta Stone. It's really expensive, to be honest, and maybe I would sometime do like a video like of how I'm learning Korean. I think that'd be fun, but it doesn't really fit necessarily with my, I guess the overall content of my channel is more beauty related, but a lot of times I kind of just do whatever videos I'm interested in, and I love language, so that's another thing I've always wanted to do. Maybe I could do like a how I'm learning Korean video or something, or tips and tricks. I don't know, it just kind of depends if anyone's interested in that. Maybe that's just something I'm interested in, but I think it's really cool. The only thing I don't like is like, since it is like a time-based subscription, you know, you only have a certain amount of time access to it, so I kind of need to like catch up and like really go through the lessons a little bit quicker because I'm kind of running out of time, and it is a bit of an expensive program. And then the final thing is like, I've kind of been like reopening my Etsy planner sticker store. I know I'm kind of like so all over the place as just a human being. I'm talking about like K-pop and Korean language, and then K-beauty, and then like Western beauty, and now planner stickers. But I do have an Etsy shop that I opened like last year, and I closed it for just a little bit just because I didn't have a whole lot of time to really commit to it, and then now I kind of feel like I want to do that again. So I used to do a lot of planner videos, which I really liked as well, but those also didn't do so well on my channel, and it was kind of just like more work for creating the video for 5 people to watch, which I get. Like, if people aren't interested in the videos that you make, then there's not really anything you can do about that. You can either cater to your audience, or you can kind of do what you want, or kind of do something in between. But, you know, I don't know. I don't blame people for not watching them. I felt like I wasn't that great at the planner videos, but I still do the planner stickers. I love doing it and designing them and making them. So I did reopen my Etsy sticker store if you want to check out what I got, or buy any stickers, or if you don't care, that's okay too. So I'll have that linked below as well. And that's pretty much it. So I guess for the whole one person that is still watching this video, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram. Link is below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.